Hello and hey, it's Restaurant Golf with your friends, and while I got you on the horn here, we're going to go ahead and talk about a discussion about Hole 12 Classic, the only hole to never have been hole-in-one in a round of Classic. It's going to be pretty short. I do have some things to say. I don't know if anybody's ever found the shot that gets us there, because there is one video that I've seen on YouTube that is a really zoomed in version, so we can't see where he's starting from, but he does seem to knock it in from the starting point. However, that's both on an old engine thing and wasn't performed on the first shot, which is going to be a crucial factor for all of us here. And we can't see his starting position, so I'm not saying it was spoofed in any way, shape, or form, but we just need to see a little bit more to kind of call it like it is. So what I have for you here is a goof up, but I wanted to let you guys see the reset before this. So I was moving. Does not make a difference as to where I ended up for this particular shot, but me resetting does. And so we'll get into that a little bit now, as you've kind of seen that shot go in from the starting position. This is me on a subsequent round, and I did have to speed the footage up quite a bit so you can see kind of what's happening over time. So as I hit the same shot, you'll see me bounce further and further to the left from this initial seam, which ends us up more right and right of the seam with the rope on it. I know that that was kind of just a weird way to explain that, but you'll see us kind of start to move, even though I'm hitting the exact same shot. And you can maybe try to pin that down to variance, but as we go over the immensity of this number of shots, you will see a definite and clear movement. Eventually to a point where we're going to be able to kind of have a shot at the hole-in-one, but it's not a hole-in-one, because so it only really affects it if you were reset from the original spot. So at some point in here, I will try to just continuously reset what's happening. However, it does not seem to have an effect, or at least not a appreciable effect for the first, like, I don't know, even 40 or 50 resets. So you'll see me kind of do this stuff and try to kind of test, and it doesn't seem to go that far. So it's more effective to have the ball needing to be moved, but it is placed back down in the same spot, basically. It obviously has to be moving for us to get a different result from the same shot, and then sort of predictably keep going in the same amount of increment, right, up this wall. And it is cyclical. So once we go around once, we can come right back around to it. So if you do miss the quote-unquote hole-in-one, you'll get another chance. However, it is in like another couple hundred shots, depending on how you approach the entire thing. So it is an interesting thing. Maybe someone, again, this is all moot because someone actually has found the shot. However, I kind of want to put to bed, if not, like what exactly we were able to accomplish under the current circumstances. So this can always be changed. The game's technically still in early access and just took on 2 new co-developers. However, with them announcing 2 new games, it's tough to know. And obviously, a team is split up in different ways. So you're going to have certain people on this game still. However, the focus, you can feel safe to feel like it's not a super priority for something like this to get through. So wanted to just have a discussion again, as I kind of just talk over myself over and over, and I apologize for that, where we kind of just discuss some of the points on this particular hole. This is an interesting point about spawning logic, I guess, and what is happening to the ball over time. I'm not sure if this is a recent addition when the physics were changed last or something like that. Like, I'm not aware of when this change was put in, or if it affects any other hole aside from this one, which we're obviously hitting some sort of weird buggy wall between that seam, right? So it's not like this is even a regular instance, but it is something to think about moving forward, because just like Candyland Hole 9, when we started thinking about the shot, who I want to credit that person, however, I don't remember, it's been that long. It's been a couple years since we've had that shot come up. My first question was, can we do it on the first shot? And that wasn't because, you know, some sort of, I don't know what I'm trying to set up here, but I just wanted to see, because the ball always seemed to come off differently on the first shot, and so being reset back to another point seemed to always make a difference, and that shot ended up, I don't think, ever working out on the first shot, unfortunately, for that creator, because that was an excellent find, but we couldn't ever use it, and it was just really kind of a sad situation for that, because, you know, someone obviously put a lot of work in, they find a shot, and it's it's replicatable on any shot other than the first. You just can't practice 8 holes. We don't have any sort of hole selection, that sort of thing. So it really sucks when we find something like this that would go in, but because of the way that it spawns, I guess it's kind of rough for us to actually do anything with it. This one does take, I think, as we're kind of coming up to the point where we're gonna be able to bounce off in there, a long time to set up, obviously. So it's not a practical thing to do. However, I think we can finally put to bed the current iteration of hole 12, which sucks. And I feel like no one else was really looking for this. And when I say that, I don't mean to offend anybody that was or publicly said that they were. I'm not really caught up, but like, I think definitively with this sort of testing that I've done and was able to get the ball in the hole, knowing that it's a cyclical sort of thing where we're gonna have to be within a certain range and then again have to hit a very specific shot within this range. It's just something that unfortunately we're gonna have to live with. The next testing I might do is on hole 18. There might be a current hole-in-one for that hole because there used to be a hole-in-one, obviously. I've gotten pretty close with some testing so far, but I'm not willing to put that one to bed just yet, as it is a timing hole, and those seem to be sort of my my dirty pleasures. Dirty pleasures? Ooh, guilty pleasures. They might be dirty too. Anyway, thanks for hanging along with me as I kind of discuss some random piece of trivia, essentially at this point, on a course that is probably one of my favorite. I think Twilight's probably my new favorite, but we'll get to that on a different day at a different time. So, as we kind of finish up with one of these eventually going in, I think it actually takes another couple 500 to 600 shots before one will go. But just wanted to talk to you guys about thanks for sticking around. Thanks for talking about all this stuff. And if you have any sort of relevant clips whatsoever to either of these 2 holes, please point me to them. I do know, like I said, that there was one guy who did have a hole-in-one, but we couldn't see quite enough, and it was literally off a different shot at a different point in the physics system. So I am aware of that one, but thank you very much for listening. Thank you for watching, and we'll go ahead and finish off with this last little clip. Be safe, guys.